Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I'm bringing you back my favorite yoga teacher, Wendy. So, I know there is a lot going on in the world right now. I know a lot of you are not in the perfect headspace. So, I contacted Wendy straight away and asked her to come back on and share how you can turn your life around with you. If you are feeling overwhelmed with whatever is going on with your life right now, or if you are feeling frustrated with the things and the people around you, or maybe you are unsure how to adapt to the new normal and you are struggling to adjust and change yourself so you don't get left behind. Well, this will be an amazing episode for you. Or maybe you purely just need something positive to watch today. Well, this will be a great episode for you as well. I know this episode is gonna bring light to you in that darkness that you feel so overwhelmed with. This episode will make you laugh, it will make you feel alive, it will just make you feel like, yes, everything will be okay. I cannot wait for you to believe that you can take control of your own life. So, enjoy! Thank you so much for sparing time for me again. I have told so many people about you and they all loved the episode that we did, and I'm so glad because you have helped me and helped so many people. So thank you. Before we talk about how you're going to help people today, I would love to know, how are you feeling?
Today I'm feeling good. If you would have asked me 2 days ago, I wasn't that great. But I think we're all going through again this roller coaster one more time. But I have noticed that if we have a little routine, if we keep just one thing on track every day and we have the discipline to do it, then straight away headspace is so much better. So much better. There's no secret, isn't it?
I agree. Would you mind sharing what happened 2 days ago? Are you open to do that?
Yeah, of course. I felt a bit homesick, and just I felt like we were in prison on this beautiful island with nowhere to go, and it's my first time in 15 years in Australia that I can't go visit my whole family and friends, and I think everyone can relate to this, like, because Australia mostly Australians from elsewhere, so we can understand that it's hard to be separated. It's quite frustrating, even though we know it's a big deal what's going on. The worst thing I find is that this separation that's been going on. So we have to be super strong to go through this. Yeah.
You're so right. I totally know how you feel. I have been really homesick myself too. So
yeah,
sending hugs to you. It actually brings perfect way to the question that I would love to ask you, because given the current time, how do you think people can show up for themselves and take care of themselves?
Such a good question, Ting. And I think the best answer that I can give possibly is the best care would be meditation. And I know it sounds like a big cliche and like we hear it all the time, but we don't know until we actually try. And at first, I find that we don't have to like it. We can just try it, give it a go, find a little routine, a discipline to commit to it every single day. And eventually we will see the results. So it's like this little task that we just have to do until we just get better. And some meditation, but also some movement, like do not stop moving, especially now that we are buying to stay home. It's when we have to move, where we have to get rid of all the stagnant energy, because we do feel stuck when we don't move that much. So we have to let the breath, the energy flow through our bodies so that we feel more free, just more free.
Yeah, I agree. Well, so those would be your advice for stress and anxiety relief?
Yeah, I would say meditate and move. So any practice of movements, it could be like you did before, dancing in your garden, dancing in your kitchen, doesn't matter, but just create some movements with your body is number one. It's just as important as stillness for the mind. Movements for the body, stillness for the mind. Oh, what more can you ask? But I also think some care physically, like I think it would be nice to also like do a facial mask or take care of your hair, or I don't know, do something for you, like don't let your hair grow so much in this lockdown. Actually take care of yourself, otherwise you lose total confidence. If that makes sense.
I agree. Like, I think little things count. Like, you don't have to go get a massage or like do a painting, or maybe, you know, like, because some people, they are following people on social media, and then that person is doing certain things, and then they feel like they need to do certain things too to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
I would like to ask, because we talked about this last time, like it's normal to feel negative, to have these thoughts, you know, like I know a lot of people feel overwhelmed, feel so uncomfortable and frustrated. But at the same time, we need to embrace these feelings in order to move forward with stronger mindset. How do you think people can really embrace?
It's gonna sound like the same interview we had, but it is a blessing in disguise, and we have to take full advantage to this extra time and space that we have for ourselves. And at times we may feel, oh fuck, I'm bored, I just want to go out, I want to do this, and let's just think that it's just temporary. And while we are living this, well, let's make the most of it. And making the most of it may just be to do absolutely nothing, because at that time, and now we may think, oh, it's boring, but that time alone will serve us, and we will see how much it has impacted us with a period of time. I feel like we all needed that. So we can use that time to do something of like creativity, any kinds, or any learning, or just time to rest as well, to fully rest, to commit to that rest, to rest our body, our head from the red race that we've been used to.
For those people who might have financial pressure, what would you say to them?
That as long as we have a roof over our head and enough food, I think we're doing okay. And we have to understand the difference between want and need. Like our needs actually completely fulfilled, because if they are, we're doing just fine. And finance are always coming and going. It's just the flow. Currency, it's just like money exchange, and whether they have money from the government or not, it's amazing how much humans can adapt anyway. Like we will always find a solution to have some sort of income, whether it's with food or money. We will always be fine. Do you find that too? Like we always manage. Even at times we thought, oh my god, it's impossible. Actually, we manage because we're still here. So we'll be fine.
Yes. Like what you said, you know, like there's a difference between wants and needs. And now is probably the perfect time for people to sit still and be like, is it what I need or is it a want? What about for those parents out there who have little ones at home and needing to work from home? What would you say to them?
I'd like to comment on that, but I won't be able to because I don't have kids yet. I can only imagine what they're going through though. And they can only do their best. I feel like the best way for them to manage would be to actually almost force in a gentle way their kids or their partners to actually meditate and do yoga together. Like could make it a fun activity for the whole family where everyone would benefit from that. And then the relationship will be heaps improved by practicing these spiritual practices together. What would you suggest?
What would I suggest? Well, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you about meditating, but I feel like people have a really big concept about meditation. Like you have to sit there and then be like, But recently I really find love with cooking. And I think cooking with your kid, yes, it's gonna be messy, but you are gonna tire them out and you will teach them something. And also it's a form of meditation. And I would also say don't put too much pressure like on yourselves, like you said, because there's no manual on parenting.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, and there's no right or wrong. So yeah, I just feel for them.
Yeah, but what I love what you said, like it is all about getting them involved in some creativity. Like cooking is excellent, and just the way, because they're cooking, they're gonna enjoy the food even more because it comes from them as well. So if a family can grow a veggie garden, oh, that'll be perfect. Like kids need to see the food growing and see exactly what they put in their bodies, and it is a meditation practice. Anything could be like um, doing your dishes. Anything could be a meditation. And as you say, it doesn't have to be sitting and creating some mantra or cool fancy Sanskrit. It doesn't have to be this heavy. It can be also a very light practice.
Yes. And like you said, like being mindful of what you need to do daily. So you have a routine. I think that ties it up. And you know what? I also feel like not before COVID, I have already met a lot of people who are afraid of taking risks and making mistakes. I feel like that is so normal. Like they have that fear state. And now I feel like even more people are afraid of making mistakes because they feel like they're labeling themselves that they are bad. So how would you encourage people to have better self-talk given the current circumstance, because everything is constantly changing?
I would suggest to try our best to just like getting to know the necessary informations for our well-being, like, but not getting too caught up with the external world, like all the news and all that, because it creates so much fear, so much doubt. So just keeping to the minimal, like exactly what we need to know as a citizen to stay safe. But the rest, like, let's make our own mind about it. Let's just tuning in and following our own intuition would be number one. And then yeah, and then mistakes is just it's how they see it. It's their perception, isn't it? Like for them it may not be a mistake, it may be a success, but for them it is. So yeah, I think appreciate the good and the bad.
Yes, yes, yes. Other than meditation, how do you think people can start stay true and follow their intuition?
That's actually a really good question, because to me it's all plays around, like it's all coming back to meditation because there's so many kinds of it. But yeah, maybe yeah, I would say like a proper life where they have proper sleep, proper food, if because that will can only make them healthier, and once they're healthier in their body, in their head, they can think more clearly. And then yeah, that meditation comes with or after all that, but they need to have proper this, like, yeah, sleep, food, and just the way they live their lives.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I for those who are listening and watching, please stay tuned because I will be talking to a Chinese medicine doctor. So you, yeah. So you will gonna like that episode. Well,
Yeah.
so at the current time, how do you think people can thrive and be a bit more comfortable with themselves?
Keeping conversations with their loved ones. I feel like now they're not really letting us hug each other or seeing each other, but then we still have the telephone. So giving a quick call to your closest friends or family, even if you've got nothing to say, just to hear a familiar voice make you feel more at home and at ease. And keep reading, keep not distracting yourself, but keeping yourself busy in a wise way, like more productivity than just busyness. So instead of watching telly, you could open your favorite book or listen to your favorite music, and just make it enjoyable for yourself. Like not creating more complication than it already is. So keeping everything more simple.
I love it. How are you enjoying Nice Strangers? What is it called again?
Oh, I have it here.
I actually read it before.
How funny. Did you enjoy it?
I love it. It's so good. How far in are you?
Yeah. I'm only halfway through, but I enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard for me to follow at first. I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, This is so interesting.
Well, don't tell me the ending just yet.
No.
Cool.
I would also like to say thank you for bringing the point how limit whatever you're putting in. Last week, I think it was last week, I wanted to go on live, but because I mentally wasn't feeling well, and then I want to tell people how it is so important, like who you follow on social media. It is okay to mute people, and it is also so important to look after your own health during this time. And if you are someone who is living in Australia, you don't need to know what is going on exactly in the US. Stop stressing yourself out with information that doesn't help you.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Oh, 100%. And we also have to remember that we are like, it's all our choice who we choose to follow. Like, if you look at my Instagram, I choose to follow Norway or some beautiful country with some raw nature. So when I open my page, I have some beautiful pictures or animals or funny videos, and you just choose. This is like your diet. It goes into your body, it goes into your head. So you got to choose exactly, where do I direct my attention? Where is my energy actually flowing? Because that will just determine exactly who you are, by who you're watching, who you're following. And I find that the more people will follow, like if you look at like some little teenagers, girls from America or something, the more they have followers, the more unhappy they become, because their desires are all the way up there and their life may be here, and they think they're unhappy. There will always be people 10 steps ahead of us in everything that they do, so we can never compare. So we might as well put some stuff that we really like on our page to follow, people that will inspire us and not influence us, as they love to call it nowadays. But just enjoying.
Yes, I agree. Well, actually, would you like to give 3 people that you would suggest everyone to follow on Instagram?
Babylon Gray.
Yeah.
Wendy Mindfulness. And your favorite yoga studio. Or maybe, there's one that I really like. It's called Language Nerds. I think, do you have it, Tink?
No.
Language Nerds. It's really cool, especially for people who are bilingual or plus. It's a really cool account with funny sentences in different languages and the play, and it's really cool. Language Nerds, it's one of my favorites.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a follow for sure.
Cool.
Well, I would like to know, how are you taking care of yourself, and how can I or other people help you out?
It will make me feel so good to know that people can take care of themselves. Like, when we say if you help people, you're actually helping yourself. And I would feel more at peace knowing that people are taking care of themselves. So my only little advice that I can give is what I do is meditate twice a day, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon. You don't have to do 20 minutes. You can just do 5 deep breaths if that's enough for you. And I like to always read a book, hopefully once a week, and do some drawings or guitar, or drink a really nice green tea at home, grow your vegetables, like whatever brings you joy is how you take care of yourself. Train at home. I've got my little girly weights that I like to do every day. I've got my yoga mat. I pretend I know shit about yoga. Just little things.
What do you mean you know shit about yoga?
I was just saying that it's nice to think that we always beginners at something. Like, we always have a curious mind, an open mind. So yeah.
Yes, that is such a good point, because it's so important to be curious about life. Thank you. I was gonna say, for those who are struggling hard with meditation, I would recommend you download the app Insight Timer. It is amazing. It's great for beginners, and for those who are struggling, please download it. So I feel like the question that I'm going to ask sort of tied in with what we were saying, you know, who we follow and what we listen to. So I feel like whatever we do individually is always for ourselves, for our future self. You know, the stuff that we eat, the people that we hang around with, the people that we follow. So how do you think what we need to do collectively as a human race to build a more mindful and beautiful future?
Being there for each other, and to do so, I feel like if every human would meditate, the world would be superb, wouldn't it? Like if everyone would have even a really short meditation practice, we'll be living in a different world. So that would be the conclusion. I think is just having just 5 minutes to ourselves of non-doing and of just being will make a big impact, and it will just connect us. Like just meditating will connect us.
Yeah. Seriously, guys, can you please stop meditating?
You tell him, Ting. You tell him. It's
Yeah.
funny because it's the practice that requires the least effort. It's like the most simple thing. Like you can't find, because there's nothing you got to do. That's the thing. That's why it's so challenging for us, because we're asking to do nothing at all.
I feel maybe we can change the word meditation to mindfulness a little bit. Like right now, I just want
Yeah,
people to be more mindful about whatever they are doing. If you feel pressure that you can't meditate, then I would encourage you to just be a bit more mindful of whatever you're doing.
yes.
Even if you are in a toilet
Yeah,
doing a number two, will be mindful doing that. Don't play on your phone.
exactly. Do a real poo like you mean it.
Well, um, before I ask you my last question, do you feel like there is something that you really want people to know and you would like to share?
I just want to say, and maybe we see it everywhere now, but it's okay not to be okay. And to also acknowledge all feelings, all unfamiliar feelings now coming up to us, and to label them. And when I say label them, it doesn't just mean to give them a name, but to actually record them, to leave some footprints, or actually write it down somewhere where we get to express it and release it from us, and then move on from it. So it's important not to deny the emotions either, but also not getting caught up with it too much. So finding that just that right amount of holding on and letting go, if that makes sense. So just being okay with whatever comes up to the surface, because it is new for all of us, this situation. So it's how we handle it, it's how we adapt to it. Because like another quote says, this too shall pass. Like it is not permanent. It's gonna go soon. So while it's here, let's just accept it, live with it, and make the most of it with the extra time that we have.
Yeah, so right. And I also want to say something, like for those people who keeps on saying that they want to go back to normal, I just want to say, like, I don't know what normal is. Can I just what does that even mean? Can you please define your own normal? And yeah, that's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say.
maybe, what do you think? Maybe the normal to them was being distracted. Maybe normal was a fast routine where they didn't have to actually sit down with themselves and look within. Like normal was just an illusion maybe. And this new normal, like they call it, is actually a way to go within. And we are still like in Australia to be in winter, because it is like a proper hibernation now, isn't it?
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm in Queensland. Look at me. I'm.
Oh yes, you're lucky you. Stay there. Don't come down, please.
Yeah, I'm not going to. But yeah, you know what? It's a good time to connect with yourself. And if you have trouble, please contact Wendy and just follow her on Instagram. You will be inspired. Um, My last question for you. I feel like you already have provided so many advice though, but I'm going to ask anyway. How do you think we can be there for each other in general? You say be there for each other before. Let's elaborate that. How do we be there for each other?
Um, yeah, you know what? I was walking the other day and I found those, and you probably have them in Queensland. It's actually everywhere around the world now. But they've got these little lending libraries, like little houses in front of the house on the fence, and they provide books or like necessities nowadays. So you have like, for example, you have a toilet paper because you know how popular they are now. So you've got a toilet paper, you have some a can of tomatoes or whatever, and then you've got books. So people just borrow, and then it says on it, take what you need and bring what you can. Take what you need and bring what you can. And if everyone follows this, we'll be here for each other, right? So I think it'd be nice to contribute to the community wherever you are, to just give your best. Okay, this is what I put out, this is what I've got. And then it becomes an exchange, but it's not about money. It's about books. It's about, I'm growing some coriander. Do you want to exchange with parsley? Or it could be any kind of exchange. And then it's being here for each other. So that will be one that is really important for the community, but also being more mindful of what you can post on your social medias, because now we know how much it can impact people and more than we would think so. So maybe being more mindful by posting some comedies, like something to make us laugh and not this C word that we hear all the time. Then I'm sure we're all so sick of it. Like I can't even stand the word COVID-19. We had enough of it. So we know it's here, it's obvious. So let's put some cats videos playing and folding, or like stuff like this.
So funny. No, the reason I'm laughing is because when you say the C word, you know what is
I know.
and then I was like, wait, what?
No, the other one.
Yes. But you're
I
right.
would prefer saying the other one than the COVID word. Trust me, I would rather say the other C word that you think of. Sounds even more romantic.
That was so funny. And also very beautifully said, because every little thing
counts.
Every little kindness count. Like you don't know what the other person is going through. Maybe the way that you put yourself out there will definitely help that person. So
yeah,
thank you.
And have you seen on Facebook or Instagram lately there's some posts saying, I'm here for you guys if you need me, are you okay? Like they actually inquire about each other, and I think it's really nice because you can tell that it's definitely authentic. They mean it. They're like, PM me if you need me, I'm here. It's really cool.
Yes, I agree. I constantly do that for people. Oh my God, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up. Because the other day when I post that, somebody actually reached out to me. And this person, she lives in the US, and she started talking to me. See how beautiful the internet can be? Like just use it wisely.
Yes.
And
exactly. It's how you utilize it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes, thank you for saying that. Yeah.
Well, that's all my questions today. And yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for asking me those questions, because I think they're all brilliant and we need to hear the questions as much as the answers. So
did you guys enjoy it? I always love to have a chat with Wendy. I honestly miss physically attending her class. Now, if you don't meditate already, I highly encourage you to download the app Insight Timer. It has honestly helped so many people. I would also encourage you to contact Wendy. Maybe you can start following her on Instagram. It will definitely help you out as well. Her details are in the description below. Here is a reminder that you have a choice. You have a choice on what you eat, who you follow on social media, who you hang around with, what you listen to, what you do with your day. You have a choice. Now, when you start doing things differently and not wanting to do what everyone else is doing, you might feel like you are an outsider. But I would like to let you know that it is okay. Please be patient because you will find your people. You're not born to fit in, you were born to stand out. You can click here to start living life differently, or you can click here to listen to other people's stories. And don't forget to subscribe, click the thumbs up button if you have liked it, and share it with someone because you never know what they're going through. And remember, you're amazing and you are not alone. I will see you in the next video.